Right now, the entire Final Fantasy community is at war over a game that literally does not exist. Millions of views, thousands of threads, and a civil war between developers and fans, all triggered by a prompt. No reveal dropped. No leak surfaced. No secret Square Enix production was found hiding behind a locked door. Instead, one fan-made AI video moved fast enough to make people act like Final Fantasy VI was finally getting the giant modern remake treatment. And that is why this blew up so hard. Fans were already starving. Square Enix has been giving Final Fantasy VII the royal treatment for years, while Final Fantasy VI keeps getting respect, praise, rankings, ports, and remasters, but never the giant premium remake fans keep begging for. So, when a fake video showed up looking like the impossible dream, people did not just see AI slop, they saw revenge for 30 years of waiting. The clip had that exact AI shimmer too. Hyper-real environments, dramatic lighting, smooth fantasy faces. Everything looked more like Unreal Engine wish fulfillment than a Super Nintendo classic. It was glossy. It was fake. It was weirdly convincing for 5 seconds. And 5 seconds was enough. By the end of this, you will see why the version we actually have makes this whole 4K argument look even more ridiculous. That is the real joke here. Everyone is yelling about AI ethics, fake trailers, and the future of art, but the actual Final Fantasy VI that Square Enix sells today is still a cleaned-up version of the old 2D game. The fake video looked like the dream. The real product is much smaller, much simpler, and much closer to 1994 than people want to admit. Viewers wanted to believe because Final Fantasy VI has been sitting in gaming's museum of sacred cows for decades. Everyone praises it. Everyone respects it. Everyone calls it one of the greatest RPGs ever made. Then somehow, Square Enix still never gives it the giant remake moment fans keep imagining. So, when one flashy AI clip appeared, people did not just see a fake video. They saw the version of Final Fantasy VI they had been playing in their heads for 30 years. Nostalgia does not care about facts. It only cares if something looks like the dream. That is why this spread so fast. Hironobu Sakaguchi, the father of Final Fantasy itself, pressed the big red button by saying it looked amazing. Sakaguchi did not leak a remake. He just saw a cool video and reacted like a human being. A familiar world suddenly looked expensive, so he said it looked cool. That should have been the end of it. But internet logic grabbed that casual reaction, inflated it into prophecy, and acted like Final Fantasy's creator had just handed AI the keys to the kingdom. Suddenly, one compliment became evidence. One reaction became a statement. One tweet became a fake board meeting. Overnight, a fan concept became a food fight about artists, labor, nostalgia, Square Enix neglect, and whether one old developer saying, "That looks good," meant the industry was about to fire every human with a drawing tablet. Context tried to enter the room. Outrage had already locked the door. Then Akitoshi Kawazu walked in like the one adult left in the building. For anyone new here, Kawazu is not some random reply guy. He is a veteran Square developer with deep history across Final Fantasy and Sagai. So, when he speaks, fans listen, or at least they pretend to listen before turning his words into ammunition. His response was basically, calm down. Do not hype the AI part like it has solved game development. Do not treat a fake trailer like a production plan. Then he made the situation messier by saying Final Fantasy VI could work well as a 3D remake. Of course he did. Critics heard caution about AI. Hopeful fans heard confirmation that FF6 deserves the big treatment. Cynics heard another reminder that this franchise can generate drama from a fake video faster than some games can generate patches. The problem was not that fans did not want a remake. We were so hungry for news that we let a fake robot trailer lead the way. Kawazu tried to use logic, but on the internet, logic is usually the first casualty. While the developers talked like normal people, fans fought a proxy war over what the video meant for the future of art. Some acted like Sakaguchi had endorsed replacing artists with prompts, empty chairs, and a production pipeline powered by vibes. Others acted like he had only admired fan passion, which is also too clean. The truth is actually a lot more frustrating. Sakaguchi later made it clear the clip would not work as is, but he also left the door open to AI being interesting somewhere down the road. That is not a full apology. It is not an AI victory lap either. It is just a messy human answer. And messy human answers do not survive online. Basically, Sakaguchi did not say AI was the future. He just said a video looked cool. But on the internet, cool means I am replacing my entire staff with robots. That is how stupid this got. People wanted a confession or a coronation. Instead, they got an awkward shrug with industry weight behind it. So naturally, everyone treated it like treason. Now here is the actual question. Is a giant 3D remake even what Final Fantasy VI needs? Or does the AI gloss ruin the soul of the pixel art? Drop it in the comments, because apparently we are already fighting anyway. Across the battlefield, fans were really arguing about a remake that does not exist. There is no official Final Fantasy VI remake announcement. No trailer. No platform list. No combat system reveal. No director interview. No big Square Enix showcase moment. No dramatic Kefka close-up with a release year at the end. What exists is Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster. That is the modern version Square Enix actually sells. It preserves the old shape. It cleans up the presentation. It keeps the game tied to its 2D roots. And that is where the hunger comes from. Fans are not just reacting to AI. They are reacting to the gap between the version of Final Fantasy VI they have and the version they keep begging Square Enix to make. The official meal still looks like it walked out of 1994. The fake AI junk food looked like a feast. That is why people bit. But even if Square Enix gave fans exactly what was in that AI video, would it actually be the game they love? Or would it just be a hollow 4K shell wearing Final Fantasy VI skin? Hold that thought, because the gloss may be the trap. Underneath the noise, the fake video hit because Final Fantasy VI fans have been starving for years. FF6 is old enough to have built legends, rankings, essays, speedruns, tribute art, and lifelong arguments. People still talk about Terra. They still talk about Celes. They still talk about Kefka. They still talk about the opera scene like it is sacred gaming scripture. The Pixel Remaster is useful. It keeps the game available. It gives new players an easy way in. But it is still pointing backward. It is not dragging the world of Ruin into a giant modern production. It is not giving fans the sweeping remake treatment they saw with Final Fantasy VII. It is not turning those old scenes into huge cinematic set pieces. That is why the fake video hurt. Fans imagined the opera scene with full staging. They imagined Kefka with theatrical menace. They imagined the world of Ruin rebuilt with scale, silence, and devastation. The AI debate mattered. The longing mattered more. That is why the reactions split so hard. One side said everyone needed to calm down because Sakaguchi liked a concept, not an actual AI-made remake plan. That side had a point. Another side said the video looked good enough to hurt because fans know Square Enix probably is not delivering the real thing anytime soon. That side had a point too. Then YouTube did what YouTube always does. It smelled nostalgia, panic, famous developers, fake footage, and fan hunger all in one place. That is premium discourse bait. Commentary channels did not have to invent a story. The story arrived pre-seasoned. A fan made a video. A legend liked it. A veteran warned people not to lose their minds. Everyone lost their minds anyway. Some people were angry about AI on principle. Some were angry the video got mistaken for news. Some were angry because they believed for 5 seconds, then felt stupid when reality kicked them in the teeth. Together, they created the perfect modern fandom stew: concern, nostalgia, bad assumptions, and quote posts swinging chairs. But the irony is not just that the remake is a ghost. The irony is that the version we actually have belongs to a completely different dream. The real Final Fantasy VI on modern storefronts is not trying to be a giant cinematic rebuild. It is not trying to compete with current blockbuster remakes. It is not trying to dominate showcases or look like the future. It is a preserved classic. Small, clean, available, familiar. That is why this whole argument looks so ridiculous. People are melting down over a fake 4K dream, while the actual masterpiece is sitting right there in its old form, still carrying the story, the music, the characters, and the emotional weight that made people love it in the first place. This is not just about graphics. It is about being so desperate for a masterpiece to get its due that people ignore every red flag just to feel one spark of hope. Everyone debated pipelines, ethics, production futures, and artistic collapse over a project with less official existence than a Moogle rumor. The real game is available today. The fake one was huge, glossy, suspicious, and perfectly aimed at the weak spot in fan memory. Of course people clicked. Titles promised an actual breakdown. Viewers expected facts, claims, evidence, and a clear explanation of what happened. Too much coverage drifted into stylized narration, vague commentary, and long metaphors. So drag the story back down to earth. Nothing was announced, no remake was confirmed, no AI production pipeline was revealed, no secret Square Enix plan leaked. A fan video went viral, Sakaguchi reacted, Kawazu cautioned, fandom detonated. That is the story. Now for the bigger problem. Maybe a giant remake could work. Maybe Final Fantasy VI really is suited for 3D. Kawazu basically said the game could fit that format. But the AI clip did not prove that. It proved that shiny images can borrow the emotional weight of a beloved game without proving they understand it. Pixel art is not just old graphics. It is timing. It is restraint. It is memory. It is your imagination doing half the work. A fake trailer can imitate scale. It cannot prove soul. That is why this debate got so ugly. People were not only fighting over technology. They were fighting over what beauty means. Is beauty polish? Is it scale? Is it expensive lighting? Or is it the fact that a 30-year-old game can still live in your head without needing a machine to dress it up? Finally, this says more about us than Final Fantasy VI. One AI mock-up and one casual compliment exposed three things at once. First, we still badly want Final Fantasy VI to receive premium treatment. Not just preservation, not just cleanup. We want spectacle that tells the market this game still matters. Second, AI in games is radioactive enough that even a casual compliment from a respected creator can explode before anyone checks what was actually said. Third, online discourse now moves so fast that we can debate the ethics, labor pipeline, creative future, and moral meaning of a production that was never real in the first place. That is the real madness. We spent a weekend fighting a proxy war over a robot's dream, while the actual masterpiece sat right there, still small, still old, still beautiful. Maybe the tragedy is not that the AI video was fake. Maybe the tragedy is that we needed a machine to remind us Final Fantasy VI was beautiful all along. So, did the AI video actually look good, or are we just that desperate? Let me know.